The following is a transcript between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am, originally produced on March 7th, 2021, under the constellations of Pisces in the mental week, examining through the sacral chakra. Me, fractals, I am. Everything begins with dimension 0, the point polarizing into positive and negative. This is the first fractal, and it is called the chiral. Me. And what is a chiral? I am. Chiral comes from the Greek kairos, which means hand. Me. As in palmistry, which is the reading of the lines in the hands. I am. Yes. The concept describes the particularity of the hands replicated in all things in the universe. That is to say, right hand and left hand are equal. However, if instead of facing them, you superimpose them one over the other, they will be exactly opposite. Equal, but opposite. Me, I understand. It is like the mirror that we were talking about yesterday of the 5D. I place myself in front of a mirror, and when I raise my right hand, in the image, it gives the sensation that I am raising my left hand. I am. In different levels of consciousness and dimensions, everything has a chiral aspect. Me. That is a kind of twin. I am. The one with the other potential. Me. Wait. So, this is what we call soulmate or twin flame? I am. That's right. Me. So the existence of a soulmate is real. It is an equal to me, exactly like me, but opposite, like the idea of an evil twin? I am. We'll have to see which one you are. But let's go deeper into this. The first chiral fractalization is the polarity of the 1D. The same is multiplied in 2D, and here the chiral effect can be more irregular because the figures do not always mirror their shape. That is to say, they are distorted, just as it is in 3D. And the same happens with time, which bifurcates by thousands in 4D, until they become aware of themselves in 5D, and then it fractalizes again in positive and negative, this time creating one of the most spectacular dimensions. Me, the 6th dimension. I am. It is the fractal dimension. It is the one that polarizes time and space, creating other realities totally psychedelic for the basic human mind. When you see a sun rising on the horizon in 6D, you see hundreds and thousands of suns of all sizes rising from all directions and in all places. There is no up or down. Space and time are constantly curving in on themselves, expanding and collapsing without a specific axis. It is like taking the 5D pattern of full consciousness of a time and space related to a particular being and creating a replicated image of it, like the branches of a tree that begin to fractalize infinitely, and yet all become the trunk again. Me, what a powerful image. It is as if the being that lives realizes that the times that he is passing through, becomes fully conscious and observes his own creation, and now in 6D expands into others, but for what? I am to create. The 6th dimension is the dimension of the great architect. Me. That is what the ancient Mesopotamians and Egyptians called God, a name that Freemasonry continued to coin. I am. All the patterns and designs of the universe are generated here, but not from 0, but from the very existence of the other dimensions. However, it is a dimension in which it can only be created, not experienced. The 6D is part of the interdimensional triad 3, 6, 9. These numbers describe the infinite cosmic capacity to generate realities. The 9D is the same latent pulsating divinity. The 6 is the one who designs those pulses by creating structures and patterns. Thus, the 3D will live those designs, experiencing them to bring consciousness to the 9D. But as we have said, all are one, living different aspects of itself. Me. Yesterday, I think it was understood when we talked about a human being being a multidimensional higher being, that an organ within, whether it is a liver or a heart, are dimensions within the larger or expanded one. Yet, they all compose the same being. Me, for example. That does not take away that each organ has its own form, life, history, and mechanisms. Just like myself, that does not take away that any organ can change my life, or I change the life of an organ. Still, I am myself. I am exactly. The universe is one body, and its dimensions are organs. You live in the third organ, and it was designed by the sixth organ. Me. How is it designed? I am. Where do you think matter comes from? Me. I don't know. From the conjunction of a lot of energy? I am. And that energy from where? Me. Vibration, high or low? I am. And the vibration? Me. I am. The cosmic paradox. The image of a fractal expanding while consuming itself without ever changing its initial shape is the one that explains the way the universe arises. And let's understand it this way. It is likely that when you were born, when you were a baby, the first vowel you pronounced was A. Over time, you will hear others pronounce this sound and you will reuse it. And one day your mother or father or someone will start to teach you, saying the words Mom, Dad. Here is where you will recognize that the letter A has been pronounced, and you will reuse it. And when you start learning, you will first write the letter A and design it and relate it to animals or pictures. And then you will learn to use it in words, and you'll feel proud. And then you naturalize the letter A, and you no longer are enthusiastic about it. Now you watch over the words that you managed to form with it, and someday they will also naturalize. And you will focus on texts and books and movies, and the letter A will become part of a gigantic fractal of millions of meanings or symbolisms. And someday you will recognize that the letter A could be pronounced by the air that you breathe, and you will meditate, pronouncing the A with consciousness, learning again to give it a deeper meaning, giving it the connotation of freedom, and you will relate it to the spirit, which is the breath, and you will see that the A is a product of the sound that the air emits when leaving your lungs and rubbing the vocal cords in its most open position. Everything that you have gone through and experienced with the letter A is a fractal, a beginning and end of the same concept that integrates to the point where you forget the first time you have pronounced it. You are so focused on another subject that you don't pay attention to the details. That's why you forget. But the universe has been learning the letter A in thousands of ways, just like you. Only in it, the A is more complex, for it is about existence itself. Me. It learns about itself, restarting itself, so matter would be to existence what a text would be to the letter A. I am, that's right. Therefore, matter is nothing more than the complexification of the bipolar constant of time and space. which means that what is constantly bending is time over space, generating the sensation of matter at the moment of greatest tension. As we saw yesterday, imagine that the universe is a large blank space with a quadrangular grid running through it, i.e., like the map with its lines of latitude and longitude. Latitude would be space and longitude would be time. Now, adding the 6D effect, those lines would begin to twist in such a way that they could curl back on themselves. The image of this fractalization would be like placing a stick in the middle of the grid and starting to twist it, and twisting the lines around it, causing tension in the same way as when we tighten the strings of a guitar. The image of the quadrangular grid will begin to resemble a spiral, a whirlpool with a point of convergence and tension where the weight falls. Me, gravity. I am, and behold, matter. Results of the constant lines of vibration generating different frequencies that give rise to energetic tensions that manifest itself in the form of matter. And it contracts and relaxes again, giving the sensation of the passage of time, when in reality it has only been spinning on itself, bending the constants. Me, I understand, I think. I am, for this very reason, the 6D, the planes of the 2D that demarcate the lines of time and space, that gives rise to the spiraling depth of 3D creating matter, and, in their tension, making them live 4D for time, and that will be held by the space of 5D, giving them meaning, will be reused by 6D to transform patterns, designing new ones, reconstructing realities, and manifesting them again in 3D. Me, evolution. I am. All possible designs lie in this dimension, and this is where the alchemy takes place. Me, alchemy, like the chemistry? I am. The most essential chemistry. That which you call magic. It is on this plane that dreams become reality, while 5D is the idyllic image where you recognize and become aware of everything. It is a new point of unity of everything experienced. It also gives you the clarity that you need to become a creator, someone or something that recognizes that you can do it in an overcoming way and transcend yourself in a transcendental experience. And to achieve it, you must embody the new consciousness. And you will do it through 6D, where you will become a creator of your own reality. Me. And when you say that we are creators of our own reality, are we talking about 6D? I am. Yes. Our reality manifests from 6D, and this reality is proportional to my 5D consciousness, which needs the balanced equilibrium between 4D and 3D. That is, from the 6D, you will attract and create only that which is in your level of consciousness and experience. Me. Don't ask for a piece of cake, as they say. I am. In the 6D, an elm tree could give pears only if the elm tree has transcended the integrity of being an elm tree. The 6D is the one that says that no pattern, design, or destiny is determinate. But nothing determines you forever, and the only constant is change and transformation. The only reason why you stay the same, or do not change, or repeat things is because of your inability to find balance in the 3 and 4D. Me, and the 6D would be the Creator-God aspect then. I am, yes. Me, who we tend to blame for creating what exists, for the reason why we suffer or bad things happen to us. But what you are saying is that beyond 6D, beings have their own consciousness, and how it affects us is up to our own consciousness, making ourselves solely responsible for our creation. I am, or destruction. Me. What would that be like? I am, chiral. The 6D is the great chiral. And this is where you can understand that everything that manifests has its reflection in negative. Me. What I said, the evil twin. I am. Let's get to it. The 6D is that which originates the divine architecture of existence, and also the dark destroyers of it. And they are the same, only reflected. In a first instance, the first division of the 6D is what causes the divine light to fractalize in two, giving rise to the twin flame. The twin flame is a concept assigned to the plane of spiritual light, which will give rise to the universal energy from its divine spark. The energy resulting from the flame is what you call soul. Thus, you have two levels of fractalizations, a spiritual light level and an energetic soul level. The polarization of a being is what enables this existence of matter between time and space. Twin flames and twin souls are a natural mechanism that drives the being to search for itself, and in that search it creates, manifests, and expands. It is like falling in love with our own reflection in the mirror. You will never be able to touch yourself, but as long as you live better and take good care of yourself and transform yourself, you will see in the mirror what you expect to find in yourself. Me, it's like a platonic love, in love with the best version of yourself, so much so that it's impossible to find you, and the only way to see you is to improve myself. I am, exactly, you've got it. Me, so it's not about couples or lovers. I am, no. Couples, lovers are fractalized reflections of this original flame. They are paths. They are ways to discover yourself, to improve, to practice, to find the shadows and the lights of yourself in every step. They are practices of your own reflection. The human, from his mammalian vision, has romanticized the idea of the flame or soulmate, decorating it with the basic needs of feeding, sleeping, and reproducing, forming a family, and living a romance. Me, wow, how much disillusionment. I am, oh no, how much expansion. The human lives his life as a penguin, believing that there is only one perfect mate for life, and that is the soulmate. But it is not. The universe is one. We are all reflections of the one. Therefore, all people we fall in love with are nothing more than aspects of ourselves that are recognizable in others. Me. Do we fall in love with ourselves? I am, across all dimensions. This amplifies the possibility of discovering your potentials and fractalizes your being, making you infinite and unlimited. Me. And what about the ideas that masters ascend in pairs in a sort of spiritual marriage of female and male? I am. This is so, but it is not a marriage. It is a union between soul and spirit, emotion and mind. And when this couple is unified, the child is enlightened and ascends. You have romanticized the idea that unity is in the bond with each other. That is why you are still here searching. The other is all, and the all is in you. This does not mean that you should not have partners or fall in love, but it implies that when and how often you do, you will know that you are not doing it out of necessity, but out of nurturing your being through you and the other as one. Me. Wow, I understand. It is that oneness that allows me to ascend or to descend, that is, to manifest. I am, or, as we said, to destroy, for it is the system itself that has created self-destruction. The mechanism was designed so that there is no stagnation. The darkness of the 6D is not bad, it is what drives us. And when you find a point of stability, comfort applies, and this prevents the development of the self, evolution in all its aspects. Thus, the destroyers are the ones that mobilize to continue. Me, the glass of cold water. I am, yes. In chemistry, the chiral is called the enantiomer, a molecule that is identical but mirrored. In these cases, one is active and the other is inactive, whereby the same component can be useful and vital to a body, while its exact opposite can generate diseases, conflicts, and deformations. In the 6D, the enantiomers are known as the archangels of light and the archangels of darkness. They are not at war, but are builders, also called by the ancients as Elohim, the Hebrew meaning of the God of gods, one God, and refers to the one who manifests the other gods, the Creator himself. He is a single reflected being ceaselessly creating options of himself. Me, expanding self. I am. When you are able to recognize the eternity of your creation and destruction, of the force of Shiva in you, then your love will be the expansion of the whole cosmos. Me, I fall in love with myself, and so I fall in love with existence itself. I am. This is a great fractal hall of mirrors. Observe the Creator God in you, and you will recognize yourself in every step of existence.